So we're going to have David Kim from South Korea. And David lives in Seoul, and he's a long-term reader of the Urantia book. He was the Urantia Foundation representative for Korea in the early 2000s, and he's assisted with the distribution of the Korean translation. He's also involved in the translation revision and has been active in study groups in Korea. So David's going to give a talk on Sow the Mortal Grave, Reap the Morontia on the Mansion Worlds. So David, if you're there, I'll hand you over.
Okay, thank you, Fred. Hello, friend. This is Kim, David Kim from Korea. I'm glad to have a chance to say hello to global friends at this time, and happy together here to celebrate the, is it 26th birthday of Jesus Christ with good friends. This is really a wonderful celebration, touching much to me. I see old friends here and new friends also. Nice to see you all. How many Americans still are left? Would you raise your hand? Let's see. Andre and Kid. 2. Susan. 3. Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. So 3. Still we have American readers left. 3 readers here.
Oh, no, I'm not American. Sorry, I misunderstood you. I'm a Kiwi.
You are from New Zealand?
Yeah.
So two Americans are here.
I live in Hawaii, so I'm closer to you than most of my
friends. What time is it there? What time is it there?
8 o'clock in the evening.
8 o'clock in the evening. Okay. Then one, Andre. Thank you very much.
No, Marvin as well.
America.
There's also Canadians that are up too.
Oh, Canadian, where? Raise your hands, Canadian. Oh, okay. What's the name?
I can raise my hand for that too.
Oh, okay.
I'm dual citizen.
Oh, thank you.
Nice to meet you, Kim. My name's Aubrey.
Sorry. Thank you very much. Okay, as you notice the title, I will speak about the life after death. Many scientists, religions, philosophers, parapsychologists, NDEs, near-death experiencers, which I have very much concentrated on these days, say many stories, beliefs, and reasonings about the life after death, but still we worry and wonder what will happen as we take our last breath on this life. As you know, Urantia revelations say about that very clearly and in detail. So by myself, after checking every details of the contents for the last 20 years, I have made up my mind to believe this story of the mentioned words. So when I was asked to present something here by Chris, I thought I might say about this faith for the revelation to the friends. Jesus said at John chapter 14, verse 2, "In my Father's house there are many mansions, and if not so, would I have told you that I go to prepare a place for you." So I will say about the mentioned words and the features of Morontia life there for about 30 minutes or more, and I want to share your opinions, what you are really thinking about, and your perceptions on these subjects, all the questions and answers for during the time left. I'd like to start with some spirit humor, which the Revelation says, so-called the prophetic joy. I think you may have read reversion activities in many scriptures in the Revelation. It says there are 3 general levels of appreciation in spirit humor. One is reminiscent jest, the other is current humor, and the last one is the prophetic joy. And it says it will perhaps be difficult for mortals to envy this phase of humor, but we do get a peculiar satisfaction out of the assurance that all things work together for good, for spirits and Morontians, as well as for mortals. This aspect of celestial humor grows out of our faith in the loving overcare of our superiors and in the divine stability of our supreme directors. So if we are sure that all things work together for good and have a faith in the loving overcare of Jesus Christ and all our unseen friends, it would be not so difficult either for us to enjoy this prophetic joy frequently. So I think this mentioned word story, again, it is somewhat with which we could make some of the various prophetic joy if we are sure for these stories. So let's enjoy with me and with a faith. I may introduce some related scriptures from the Bible and the Revelations, which I have selected, and talk to you my understandings and my faith about that. Just to raise the agendas for discussion at the next part of an hour. As you listen to me, I'm not a good English speaker and very poor listener. So when I'm not clear to you, and when you are not clear to me, my daughter will help us. She is teaching now at Urantia University at Sydney. Gia, you are here. Will you say hello to the friends?
Sure. Well, I'm not a good English speaker either, but yeah, here to assist David, and I happen to be here, and good to see you all. Yep.
Okay. Okay. Let's start. Let me first begin. John chapter 13, verse 36. Lord, where are you going? Simon Peter asked. He might be weeping, crying. So Jesus answered, where I'm going, you cannot follow me now, but you will follow later. So at the time, Peter didn't know where he goes. But now we all, Urantia readers, know exactly where he has gone. And Jesus said, you cannot follow me now, but you will follow later. Yes, and so now we Urantia readers know where we are going exactly. It's Jerusalem. So Jerusalem, the headquarters of our local system of Satania, has its 7 worlds of transition culture, each of which is encircled by 7 satellites, among which are the 7 mentioned worlds of Morontia detention. Man's first postmodern residents. Paul wrote at 2 Corinthians chapter 5, verse 1. For we know that if our earthly house of this tabernacle were dissolved, we have a building of God, a house not made with hands, eternal in the heavens. And the Revelation also says at the paper 39, when you finish your earthly carrier, your body remains on this planet. There, your new body is a Morontia form, one that can in seraphim. You sow a mortal body in the grave, you reap a Morontia form on the mentioned world. That's how I have decided the title for this presentation. Paul also wrote that for 1 Corinthians chapter 15, verse 42. So also is the resurrection of the dead. So also is the resurrection of the dead. It is sown in corruption. It is raised in incorruption. At King James Version. And at New Living Translation, it says, it is the same way with the resurrection of the dead. Our earthly bodies are planted in the ground when we die, but they will be raised to live forever. And the Revelation says on the mentioned words, the resurrected mortal survivors resume their lives just where they left off when overtaken by death. Blah, blah, blah. And if you had come from a more normal and progressive sphere of time, you would hardly notice the difference except for the fact that you were in possession of a different body. And it says, the early Morontia life in the local systems is very much like that of your present material world, becoming less physical and more truly Morontia on the constellation study world. And as you advance to the Salvington spheres, you increasingly attain spiritual levels. Paul also said at 1 Corinthians chapter 2, verse 9, but as it is written, I have not seen nor ear heard, neither have entered into the heart of man the things which God have prepared for them that love him. The Revelation also says, on the mentioned words, after your vision range is extended, and you are freed from the fetters of material comparisons, you can begin to comprehend the meaning of those realities which I cannot see nor ear hear, and which have never entered the concept of human minds. Even those things which God has prepared for those who love such eternal verities. You are not always to be so limited in the range of your vision and spiritual comprehension. What is the fetters of material comparisons? As we know, we just hear over 20 hertz through under 20,000 hertz. We just see from 400 to 700 nanometer wavelength, and we have 5 million cent grains. Comparing those 300 million, that definitely will be over this kind of certain limits or categories for material perceptions. And we will also get extended vision. We will also get extended vision for Morontia materials, and someday visions for the spirits. The Revelation says, though you have Morontia bodies, you continue through all 7 of these worlds to eat, drink, and rest. You partake of the Morontia order of food, a kingdom of living energy unknown on the material world. Both food and water are fully utilized in the Morontia body. There is no residual waste. And pause to consider, Mansonia #1 is a very material sphere, presenting the early beginnings of the Morontia regime. You are still a near human, not far removed from the limited viewpoints of mortal life, but each word discloses definite progress. From sphere to sphere, you grow less material, more intellectual, and slightly more spiritual. I believe in that. I have checked several times, around 100 times. I cannot believe in that. So I'm very comfortable for coming death and my future, and looking forward to Morontia life after this death. I have prepared some music to celebrate the birthday of our Lord Michael, the Master Symphony of Nevadon, Jesus Christ. I want to stay around, and so I beg you, baby, don't take this hand from one. If you must cling to someone now and forever, each time we meet, love, I find Okay, was it good?
Yeah, yeah. Thank you for sharing that with us. It's a song that we could sing to our thought adjuster.
Oh yeah, yeah. Okay, let me continue. So we also have time to gratify our desire to consult the registry and call upon our loved ones and other earth friends who may have preceded us to this world. At the end of our 10-day period of leisure, we begin the second step in the paradise journey. What is first step? Earth life. For the mentioned worlds are actual training spheres, not merely detention planets. A newly developed and suitably adjusted Morontia body is acquired at the time of its advance from one mentioned world to another. You go to sleep with the seraphic transport and awake with the new but undeveloped body in the resurrection halls, much as when you first arrived on mentioned world number 1, except that the thought adjuster does not leave you during these transit slips between the mentioned worlds. Your personality remains intact after you once pass from the evolutionary world to the initial mentioned world. I hope we could have a strong faith for this at this time, possibly to clear out all the suspiciousness about the next life so that everybody could have a readily happy death, Catherine, after enjoying this mortal life. I think whether you believe this mentioned story or not, it may give you very strong effect on your current life. Let me conclude my presentation with these scriptures. One of the purposes of the Morontia career, is it career or carrier?
Korea.
Career, okay. Career is to effect the permanent eradication from the mortal survivors of such animal vestigial traits as procrastination, equivocation, insincerity, problem avoidance, unfairness, and easy seeking. The Mansonia life only teaches the young Morontia pupils that postponement is in no sense avoidance. After the life in the flesh, time is no longer available as a technique of dodging situations or circumventing disagreeable obligations. So we have to overcome these animal traits anyway. It says that animal vestigial traits are procrastination, equivocation, insincerity, problem avoidance, unfairness, and easy seeking. Let's look into ourselves at this time. We have to eradicate those things anytime around us anyway. Around me and around us anyway. You humans have begun an endless unfolding of an almost infinite panorama, a limitless expanding of never-ending, ever-widening spheres of opportunity, matchless adventure, sublime uncertainty, and boundless attainment. When the clouds gather overhead, your faith should accept the fact of the presence of the indwelling adjuster. And thus, you should be able to look beyond the mist of mortal uncertainty into the clear shining of the sun of eternal righteousness on the balcony heights of the mentioned words of Satania. Well, finishing my presentation, I want to memorize with you our good friend Mark Bloomfield. He has started the Korean chapter with me. He has distributed Korean translation on his back. Every Korean library is sold. It was a cold winter seasons. I have asked him to stay at my home, but he denied to stay at home, but stay at warehouse with Korean translations. Mark and me went to China. While staying in China, he insisted to stay at the lodge below $1 payment. He didn't want any comfortable environment situations anyway. I thought he was real, the true Son of God. He just followed Jesus' way. I guess we also have someone like that among us. And he tried to go North Korea, distribute Korean translations. North Korean embassy asked him much money. It may be around $2,000 or $3,000. When I visit Catherine's house last year, I was told he was assassinated and abruptly suspended his life. I'm so sorry to hear that. He was a real man. He did what he believes in. I think this is the look of real Urantia. This is the fourth time for Korean chapter of Urantia. Catherine and my wife have signed the distribution of Korean translation. It was 20 years ago, Catherine?
Yeah, 2000. Close. Yeah, 20 years.
So those both are pretty cute girls, but now you got old. Okay. Now we are going to have a debate time. Any comments, any questions, any perceptions, just feel free to say to me. And if somebody is interested in Korean chapter of Urantia, welcome. Do please ask me. Okay, thank you, Trevor.
Okay, David, that was wonderful. We'll open it up to questions, and you can stop sharing your screen now. Okay, that's good. Everyone can mute or unmute themselves now. So if you have any questions or comments, I have one to start off with. It was an interesting statement in the Urantia book where it said, when we get resurrected on the mansion world, we have an undeveloped body. And I've always thought, what are they referring to there? What is an actual undeveloped body? Is it a body that we're just not used to, or is it going to grow with us? Or anyway, I just throw that out there. Someone may have an answer to that.
If I may, Mr. Kim, please,
Yes?
in all admiration, I'm trying to understand how to say your first name so I can use it.
It says Jin-Wook Kim. Jin-Wook.
Jin-Wook. Okay, so if I say Jin-Wook, am I saying it right?
And it is difficult, so you call me David Kim, because I have been called for a long time from Urantia readers, so you call me David Kim. Jin-Wook is pure, high.
I got you. So what was the last, something Kim? I didn't get the beginning of that.
Yeah,
Just call him David. Stu, just call him David. He goes by David.
David? Yeah, is that good, David?
Yeah, Jin-Wook is okay, because it
Yeah.
means, literally means true light. So I was named True Light. So I like that word, but name, but it is difficult. So this is pure. This is Chamjin and Binnaru. So True Light in English, True Light. Okay.
Thank you. And I know it's important. I just want to know how to connect with you because I have great admiration for your presentation. I think first of all, your English is excellent.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
And you have a clarity to take your mind and put it into English that I thought was really, really good. I just want you to hear it because it was a great experience listening to you express yourself. You are really strong faith and grasp, but also a grace about you. Very nice. I just want to share that with you. Okay. First, so I wanted to say that I really thought the whole thing that you said about our expectations of reconsciousizing in our mind on the first mansion world, and that expectation of really the next adventure, almost like from being an embryo within the womb of your mother, then giving birth into a world of expansion and space and adventure. We got a whole new thing coming to us, and I think you got it right on target. I just really appreciate that. I do want to ask you, I have over many years worked with the Urantia Society of Greater New York with Barry Clark and his wife Kay, who is also of South Korean origin. Are you familiar with those two?
Yes, I know them, but I guess you may know what the situations happens. So it has happened from America. So, well, yeah, I guess you may know everything.
Well, I appreciate that. I just want to say also, it's now getting close to 3 o'clock in the morning here in North Carolina on the eastern part of the United States near the Atlantic Ocean. But I am filled with the Spirit, and you have done a masterful job on connecting with the world. Thank you, David. I'm going to say Mr. Kim. For me, in my mind, my first go-to is Mr. Kim with all honor.
Thank you very much, Stuart. So you are still left here. It's very much respectful. And if someday, if there is time between you and me, then I could tell you what has happened in Korea, in America. Okay, so later, yeah, I know them, and they are, yeah, I know them. Okay.
I have a question, David.
Okay, Pio.
David, how are you?
I'm very fine. I'm really fine because you see, because of the virus, I have plenty of time, so I can prepare this presentation. I'm so happy.
It was a very good presentation, David, and congratulations. I have one question. This fellow, Mike, did you say Mike Bloomfield? He was killed in North Korea?
Yeah, Mark Bloomfield. Yeah.
Oh, when?
He was actually it was outside a hotel in Wales. Some guy attacked him and his head hit the concrete and he died of a head injury. Very
He died
sad.
in UK then. He died in
Yeah.
Wales.
Yes.
So so it wasn't the North Koreans, or it wasn't the North Koreans?
No.
Oh, okay. Oh.
North Korean affairs 20 years ago, he was
Okay.
very eager to distribute, because it is Korean translation. North Korean can read the translation, so he was very eager to distribute the translation, but they have asked much money for us.
Oh, okay, David, I want to say one thing to the group on your behalf. David Kim Jin-woong was an officer of the Republic of Korea Army. He's the military academy graduate, and he has served his country, and he has spent the past 2 decades in distributing the Urantia book Korea translation. Good work, David.
Thank you. Thank you, my friend.
Yeah.
It's almost midnight in Seattle, David, so I'm going to go to bed.
Yeah, hope to see you. Hope to see you.
Okay, brother. Bye-bye.
Thank you. I love you.
I have never really read the Bible, but I've had a spiritual upbringing. I really liked the way you put the Bible quotes down, which never seemed to be quite finished. And then when you read the Revelation one, it finished the story. And it was really well put together. And I agree, your English is very good. And I appreciate your presentation. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Georgie.
Yes, I agree with Georgie. It was very well done, David, how you segued those stories in together. Good.
I agree too, and doing it in another language is amazing to me. Only speaking one.
When you speak to foreigners, for Urantia foreign readers, please speak them distinctly and grammatically. So not because they don't know the words, vocabularies, but because you are saying colloquially fast conversational languages. But if you speak slowly, grammatically, it is okay. You say fast, but if you say it grammatically, then they can follow you. Yeah. Say it.
Yes, thank you, David, for that. So what you're saying is, when we speak to you, we don't speak too fast and just speak very clearly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, to me or to poor English speakers. But if he or she speaks English well, then that's okay. You just say comfortably. But in case of me or some of them, because we have learned English just English grammatically.
And no equivocation, David. That's great.
Yeah, thank you. How many have you seen me first time? Right. Oh, 1, 2, 3. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. George, Keith, and Stuart. Keith, say go ahead, Susan.
I think were you in the Zoom meeting in March, the earlier one? Because I think, remember we had a worldwide Zoom meeting in March this year. The first one that was sort of...
You are saying some event in Australia?
No,
Okay.
same as this, Zoom meeting in March.
Okay. I'll join them. I'll join them.
Also, too, the one of the quotes in your presentation used to be in the front cover flap of the Urantia book, and it was the one that I just read the cover flap, and that was it. I was in. Just that one quote about endless adventure and sublime and all the rest of it. It was just wonderful. I just thought, yep, that's me.
Okay.
but they don't put it in anymore.
Thank you. Kid, where are you from?
I'm from
I
New
live in
York.
Hawaii.
Huh?
Kit.
Which one do you want, Kit or Kim?
Sorry for that. Kid.
I live in Hawaii.
Okay. Huh?
I live in Hawaii.
Okay.
One thing I would say is the day that you translate from Urantia to the first mansion world is an event you will never, ever forget in your entire career as you are paradise bound. It is such a miraculous day to have all you've dreamt about realized, or all you never dreamed of all of a sudden presented. I'm looking forward to it, but not right away.
I know, me too.
Yes. So we are happy and comfortable, and yeah, no fear.
Right.
No fear.
No fear.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
right.
Yeah. And enjoy the mortal life, earth life.
Yes.
Yes.
Keith from New York.
Hi there. This is such an interesting topic, and there's been a lot of discussion about it in the cafe. And as much as I try to consider what life will be without my physical form, it's really hard to get to. The best I can think of is a very deep meditation where you're out of your body, so to speak. But that can't possibly be a true sense of what we are going to be once we cross over. I guess it's beyond at least my understanding, despite what the book offers us. It gives us hints, but not the experience. Thank you.
Yes, I think it's something we're just going to have to wait and literally experience. And yeah, the book tries very, very hard to sketch out what might happen, but it's such a radical change for us. It's going to be quite an amazing event.
Okay, so Kim, quickly before time runs out. So yes, I think your presentation was lovely. And again, okay, yeah, I think you might want to see me. Yeah, that's me again. So I'm from Ghana. Yeah, and thank you for such a wonderful presentation. And I think, yeah, your English is fine. Sometimes people who are non-English people worry that their English, so you're fine. So I think you even brought your daughter along, and imagine she didn't even do anything, you know, so you're quite fine. And I like the reminder in your presentation about what the Morontia life would be like. I mean, some of us, especially those of us who have had a Christian background, sometimes get the belief that the afterlife is all going to be bliss, you know, and all great and just, I don't know the word to use, just good stuff, you know. But I think in the presentation you shared that it was a reminder that says that the Morontia career would sort of seek to eradicate certain traits from us, and it would also usher us into a condition whereby we sort of not always want things to be easy, but sometimes even embrace difficulties, hardship, you know, and all that. And even the life or the testimony of the guy you shared, Mark, pretty much says it. I mean, we just sometimes have to put our comfort zones down and just get on with life, no matter how hard or the challenges that it brings our way, because that is what brings about growth. And that ties in with the question that Trevor put in, that I don't know whether somebody has asked here, what is like undeveloped body, you know, when you go into the Morontia world? And it reminds me of sometime when I used to preach to even my Christian brothers. I always tell them that when you die and you wake up, you're not just going to be a perfect body all of a sudden. I use the expression that if you die and you are such a person who is impatient, you wake up with a body, whether it is a Morontia spirit body, which is still impatient. If you wake up in that state, you still have the opportunity to learn gradually how to be patient. So thanks, and a great presentation.
Yes, so yeah, thank you for that, Collins. You're absolutely right that an undeveloped body is we start out exactly where we left off in our development on the mansion world. So we need to develop ourselves. Yeah, very good point.
Thank you for your perception, Collins. Okay, okay, friend. Thank you for listening to my presentation and participating to the debates. Happy birthday to Michael again, and God bless you all. Thank you.
Well, David, thank you very, very much.